Hi everyone, good evening. Just give me a second. Let me set up the camera. How's it going, guys? Right. Let's wait for a few more minutes. I'll give you my introduction. Let's have everyone in. So basically, we are conducting this live for students, for our students who successfully cleared their PCE written exam. It's a big achievement coming from international country, like international education, and then coming to Canada and passing that exam itself is a very, very big achievement. And PCE is one of the toughest exam in the world, yes. So it's never an easy exam. It demands immense effort, and you have to work very, very hard for this. So definitely these kids deserve a lot of appreciation, and we conduct such events to make them feel proud what they have achieved. Okay, and at the same time we try to see if they can share some amazing tips with you guys if you're going for exam in July or later on. They can be of a great resource to you. All right, exams are getting tough day by day, and you have to improve your preparation. CAPI is not going to give it to you very easily. You have to work hard to earn this. Okay, nobody is passing the exam just by superficial preparation. You have to prepare in depth, and it's something achievable. Most of the students are internationals, and they are able to make it in their first attempt. Okay, you just need the right strategy, right motivation, good family support, good study partners. Everything helps, and that will make a difference in the end. Okay, so once again, cheers and a lot of applause to all these successful candidates. Let me see who I have. I'll try to have at least 3 of them. I'll take Aparna. And who else I have? Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me get Adricha. Okay, great. Hi, Madhura. That's Madhura, right? And that's Aparna, right? Okay, let me see if I can hear you guys clearly. Yes. So let's see if we have the third candidate. Let's have Vishwa also. Okay, great. How are you guys doing? Good. For some reason, I cannot hear you guys. Is there a... try talking again. Can you guys hear me clearly? For some reason, I cannot. Just give me 1 minute. Let me try to set it up. And is the audience able to hear them? Are you guys able to hear them? All right. Let me try again. How is it now? Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys try saying something?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I can hear you now, Madhura. Is there any background disturbance to you guys? Nothing, right? Okay, great. Okay, so I think for some reason Aparna could not. Let me try to add Vishwa. And I think if she requests again, I'll try to add her. So, Madhura, again, big congratulations, big victory. It's a big achievement. Hi, Vishwa. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Madhura, I'll start with you. It's a big victory, big achievement. If you can share very quickly about your journey, like how you started and how much time it took, how many months of preparation it took till your results now.
February, that whole book.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. How about you, Vishwa? How many months of preparation it took for you?
So I started in January, but I was working like two jobs. So I took off completely in like the second week of March. So then I was just completely studying, but like 4 months in total, I can
4
say.
months in total. That's from starting the classes to till your exam.
Yes.
Wow, that's very impressive. So, Madhura, I did have some problem in hearing your voice. I could not hear anything. Maybe try checking your audio settings. So try to check it, and I'll try to communicate with Vishwa, and let's see if Aparna is also here. So, Vishwa, one strategy for students, and because this is a big achievement, finishing everything in 4 months, how did you manage in 4 months?
So I started with all the classes in January and February. I just purely did all the classes, and I like made notes along with it because I knew I had like like little amount of time. So I was doing more like note making and recorded classes. And then once I was done with those, I started practicing questions and then repeating the classes little by little
Okay.
and going through my notes and all of that.
So in this, you were purely relying on recorded lectures, right?
Yes.
Recorded lectures, and then practicing questions. So how many months it took for you to finish all the lectures?
If I start from January, I think like end of February, all the classes were done.
End of
Like all
February.
subjects.
Okay. And so it took 2 months approximately.
Yes.
That's great. And then 2 months of questions and answer practice exams.
Yeah, and then repetition of the lectures and yeah, with the questions and everything.
That is great. That's great to hear.
Hi, sir.
So
Thank you so much.
hi, Aparna. Congratulations. Can you hear me? Yeah, that's great. So Aparna, when did you start, and how many months it took for you to finish the whole course?
So I started watching the lecture around.
I think your audio is like
Okay.
audio video is not great. Aparna, try to check your internet again. Nothing is coming to me. I'm not sure if you're using cellular data or Wi-Fi. Try to check the settings. It's not coming clearly to me. How about you? So I'll come to you, Madhur, again. Let's check if your audio is working. How many months of preparation it took for you? For some reason, it's not coming. Madhur. Try to log out and maybe try again. Okay, try to log out again. Let's see if I can have other students. I have Priya. Let me add Priya. And then, okay, so yeah, I'll have some more students. So Vishwa, since I can hear you more clearly, I'll stick to you. Hi, Priya.
Hi, sir. How are you? Thank you.
So, Vishwa, what section did you score highest?
I scored highest in cardio.
In cardio?
That was the only one I was really scared about, but apparently I scored the highest in that. I think I gave it more attention in the end.
Cardiopulmonary. I mean, I think we were telling that a lot in all of the strategy classes, that cardio and other systems can make a difference. And what was the strategy in cardio? How did you manage cardio?
So I did all the lectures first, and then I did make some of my notes. But then when I repeated the lectures, I also printed out your notes, and I was like adding some notes to it. And in the end, I still wanted to like learn more and know more about stuff. So then in the very end, I referred to like for the main topics, I referred to the books just to like add on.
Which textbooks did you refer for cardiopulmonary?
I think I did Hilgas. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the exam, did you feel that you knew everything in cardiopulmonary, or was there still a lot of new information, new questions?
I think it was more like applying. So I had all the knowledge, but I just had to like apply it. So that came through questions.
It was manageable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. So anybody who's listening, she managed to pass her exam in just 4 months, which is a big achievement. So I'll come to you, Priya. Priya, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Great. So congratulations again. Yeah, it's a big victory. Tell me a little bit
Thank you,
about
sir.
like in which section did you score the highest in this
You'll be surprised I score highest in other system.
other systems?
Yeah.
I think you know what, that strategy is actually working. I have
Yes,
seen a
really.
lot of scores going up because of that. So what was your strategy in other systems? What should a student do to score highest? To score good in other systems?
So I read 3 times all the topics. Like I had 4 months preparation, but in the last 2 months it was my 100%. And in that 3 months, in 2 months did revise them like 3 times each topic of other system,
Now, where
even
did
the lab
you get the
values and all.
topics list? Was it from the blueprint or was it
No, from the blueprint.
from the blueprint?
From the
So you,
blueprint, and our mentor also provided some list of the topics which we needed to remember.
who was your mentor?
Kiran ma'am.
Kiran. Okay. So did you read any textbook for other systems, multi-systems?
Mostly TED, so for some topics,
Therapy.
and
Okay.
Physiopedia was best for that.
No textbook.
No,
Like Goodman pathological implications.
no, I don't think so because it was too much in that, and in other system, I thought that they won't ask you in details, right? They will
Yes.
ask you like some direct questions and some applicable knowledge. So if you have the concept clear from Physiopedia or TED, then you are good to go.
Okay. Okay. So and did you feel that they were asking a lot of questions in other system, or it was like very few?
There were very few questions, but they were like everything was jumbled together.
Okay.
And the main question was from ethics. So if you know what to take care in hypoglycemia, then you can answer what to do in ethical question, right? Like that.
Okay. Yeah, it covers the ethics part also. So anybody who's listening, again, keep in mind they're not going to ask too many questions in other systems, but and questions will be very basic. They're not expecting you to go and do any major surgery. Just basic. If you how are you going to deal with hyperglycemia, hypoglycemia, in those kind of basic situations? How will you manage? And then a lot of questions will be based on ethics, because ethics comes in all these sections: muscular, neuro, cardio, multi-system. Okay, it's not separate. It comes in all these sections. So that is great. Let's check again. Aparna, I hope your internet is good. So Aparna, tell us some, like, which section was the best for you in exam,
best
in the score report?
And my two basics.
Okay.
So I made my basics
Okay.
thereafter. And I think that worked. That was enough. I
Okay.
topics from D.
And no textbook, no textbook for cardio. Read and chunk some topics. How about the case studies
No, I
from
did
read and
not
chunk?
go through that. I did not have that. I stuck to basics, like I said, and the conditions. And
Okay.
yeah, I think that worked. That was enough.
That's it. Nothing.
It was
So what was your
680.
score in cardiopulmonary? Okay, that's a good score. And how about you, Priya? What was your score in other system?
658.
And what was your final score?
My final score was 630.
630. And how about you, Vishwa? What was your score in that section? Others?
In cardiopulmonary, it
Cardiopulmonary.
was cardiopulmonary. I got 685 as well.
685. And what was your final score?
641.
641. That's great. How about you, Priya? What was your final? Aparna, what was your final score? Okay. So what I see is, like, if you score very high in one of the sections, like other systems, cardiopulmonary, if you guys notice in your score report, did it raise your score a lot? Did it help you cross the passing mark? Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes. So guys, like those sections, like cardiopulmonary, other system, you have very limited questions. But if you perform very well in those sections, your score jumps significantly, because it's very hard to score high in muscular because of the number of questions we have in muscular, and even neuro. Now, this time, all three of you, what do you guys think about neuro? How difficult was neuro? I'll start with you, Vishwa. For you, how will you rate neuro from 1 to 10 in terms of difficulty?
I want to say, like, the clinical part was okay, but the management part was a little difficult. So for the management, I would do like an 8, 7 or 8.
Okay, that was hard. Okay.
That's good.
How would you
For me,
for neuro?
PEDS was a little difficult because I did not focus on that. I was sticking more to neuro topics, to the media part. So that was a little difficult for me. I would have 7 on.
Okay. How about you, Priya, for neuro?
I also think it was very difficult, like an 8 or 9, because I scored lowest in that one. And I thought neuro was my strongest point, like it was my
Yeah.
strongest part, but this time I scored very less.
So you felt the exam the questions were tricky in neuro? That was the reason?
Yeah, the
Yeah, I mean,
options were so close. To
Exactly.
think in like 30 seconds between two options, how will you select which is the unique one? That was a challenge for that.
okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like in like last 7, 8 years of teaching, I never heard neuro was tricky. This was the first time. They have been like changing the poles, like they have been moving from cardiopulmonary to neuro to other system. Something is being tricky. So you cannot just say that one section will always stay tricky. They have been changing that section every time. So anybody who's listening, and if you anybody who is going for exam in July, you have to be good with every section. You cannot ignore neuro like the old days. You have to be quite well prepared. So one last thing, again, it's a big achievement for all three of you. One last strategy, Aparna. What should a student do to be successful in this exam? One unique that
I
was
think
unique
I
about you
focused a
in
lot
your
on
preparation.
ethics, and that helped me a lot. Because this exam now it's totally,
Okay.
more inclined towards ethics. So, and we tend to take ethics lightly.
Okay.
Every other
Yeah.
MSK neuro, everything. We need to focus on ethics to pass.
And what was your strategy in ethics? Like, how were you managing ethics? Like, were you doing it every day or more
About
questions? How
4
did
to
you?
5 standards a day, and I used to solve 20 to 30 questions every day, along with my other.
Okay, that's great. How about you, Priya? What was your strategy for ethics?
So for ethics, I used to do all the standards and all the practices of the college. I did all the FAQs of on the website. But the main thing I saw in the exam was that if you have the basic concept of MSK, Neuro, or any other system, right? And if you know the ethics, then you can pass this exam. You just need basic concept and you just need to know the rules.
Of ethics. Okay.
Yeah.
So basics of MSK neurocardio other system and good in ethics. That will be
Good
enough.
in ethics, yeah. So anybody can think then and can pass.
That's great. That's great. How about you, Vishwa? What should be the unique strategy that a student should follow?
Um, Overall, I think the main would be like sticking to basics and then just practicing questions. Like I feel like if you have all the knowledge but you don't know how to put it when the question is asked, it's very tricky. Like you can't get it right. So like at least 50 questions every single day. That really helped me.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So again, congratulations to all three of you. It's a big victory, big achievement. Good luck
Thank
for
you,
the
sir.
future, and stay in touch with us. If you need any help from us, let us know. But good luck for the clinicals. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
All right. So you guys can exit, and I'll try to have another bunch of students, group of students. Let me see. All right. Let me get Gina.
If I'm not able to exit.
You can just close the window. So let me see. I have Sangeeta. Okay. And then Sweta. Okay. Now, is this Sangeeta?
Jinal, sir.
Vrinda? You said Vrinda?
Jinal, sir.
Gina. Okay, Gina. So I don't
Hi,
recognize
sir.
you guys by face.
Hi.
And who? If you guys can just introduce yourself quickly, because I don't see a name right now.
Sir, this is Sangeeta. Can you hear
Who? Say it again.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Sangeeta. Okay, got it. So Sangeeta, and then who's the third person?
Sir, my name is
Shweta.
Shweta.
Okay, got it. So that's great. So let's start with you, Sangeeta. Sangeeta, if you can share, again, first of all, it's a big victory, big achievement. I mean, it's not easy, and I think you passed your exam in first attempt,
Yes.
right? How many months of preparation you took for this
So
one?
mine was like on and off. So I started in August.
Uh-huh.
Then since I just did lectures, like reviewing the lectures, like other system, cardiopulmonary, MSK. I finished all of them.
Okay.
And then I took months of vacation because it was very overwhelming for me. Because students were like, will clear, the standards are changing, they are not raising, like they are raising the standards and it's really hard. So I took 2 months of vacation, and then on April I took complete off, and
Okay.
then I started again. So I
Okay.
started on ma'am's topics, and I made sure from the blueprint that I know every topic from the basic, not just mugging up, okay, this is the clinical features, this is the symptoms from the basic. So that's how I started, and by
Okay.
good.
So you started in August, and then you took a break of 1 or 2 months
Yeah.
in between, and then you started again with mentorship.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, actually, it's a good strategy. I mean, because it does get overwhelming. It's too much for any student to study at a stretch for like 6 to 7 months. It gets hard. So definitely, you all need a break. Again, that's a great tip. So I'll come to you, Shweta. Shweta,
Yes.
congratulations, big victory. But how many months did it take for you?
I took a complete 4 months of full-time study, I would say.
And were you studying before that also?
Yeah.
Before 4 months?
I was following your lectures
Mhm.
from everybody, and also I was trying to revise some of the topics, whatever were covered in the lectures. Some of the lectures I couldn't finish in live, so I used to do the recordings, and then because I was working full time,
Wow.
so it was difficult. Then I took complete break. I realized, no, this is not enough.
In the last 4 months?
Yes.
No work.
No work.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how many hours, because I get this question all the time.
Yeah.
How many hours did you study in last 4 months per day?
It's a full-time job, so it's a full-time study.
Full-time means 8 hours, or was it more than that?
8 to 10 hours.
8 to 10 hours every day.
Yeah. I used to start as if I'm going to the job. 9 o'clock, start, go for it, and maybe take 10 minutes of break, and then eat lunch, maybe 1 hour of sleep. Then again, and study, and then go for a walk. Or I used to have a nephew at home, so I just used to play around, de-stress myself.
Yeah.
He was 3 years old, so de-stress, and then sit back again in the night, go till 11 or 12. I did full-time job, like full-time study I've done.
That's amazing tip, guys. Like, and Shweta can say, and then even other students will agree that this exam is demanding. So if you are expecting to manage it with full-time study, you have to be like ultra talented to like get this done. Otherwise, exam is getting hard. Okay, it does not matter how much time you give. It's not going to be easy. You have to always put more and more. So it's definitely a tricky one. So Gina, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Gina, how much time, like how many months it took for you?
So like I started preparing full time from February. So actually I started in December. For December and January, I was working full time and studying like part time, watching lecture whenever I get time. And then I realized like I need more time. So I quit my job in February. And so from February, I did full time study for 3 months.
3 months of full time study. That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's very impressive. This time I'm listening, and maybe you know what my feedback to students is like, it's making them quit the job.
Yeah.
Now, because you know what, everyone finds it very difficult, like how to quit a job. Will I be able to manage financially? How hard is it to manage your finances with no job?
So like it was like a hard decision to make, but like I had my husband's support. Like he was very like, sure, like I will manage everything and you just focus on your study. So it was like because of his support, like I was able to manage it without like a job.
And you know what, I tell every student that, I mean, you go for this exam, and if you miss it, you're losing $1,000 first of all, and then you pay again $1,000, and that's like $2,000 are gone. So $2,000. So it's a good idea to just quit and study. So, and you can start making like from $15 an hour to $40 an hour at least. So that's a big
that's
change.
what my husband's counting was.
Yes. So he definitely needs smart husbands. That's great. That's great, Gina. So Gina, which section you scored the most?
So like the subject which made me cry most, I scored highest. And that's a cardiopulmonary.
Cardiopulmonary. So how did you prepare
Yeah.
cardiopulmonary? Because nobody likes that subject. But
I
how did you
hated
prepare?
it. So like when I started watching your lecture, I literally was like, this is not something I know. Like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I did my bachelor's, but I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So it was so overwhelming. So like for the first time when I went through the lecture, I feel like I need to do it again. So second time I went through the lectures and made my notes. But the thing happened is like after 1 month, when I went back to those notes, I didn't understand a single word.
Yeah, that happens.
So yeah, so I was so like frustrated, like, and then like I talked with some of my friends who already passed the exam, and they say the same thing, like it's good, it's the same thing happened to everybody. So I again started making notes like step differently. And one thing I did is like I kept the small diary in which like I just wrote like one point about each condition for the cardio, and I tried to revise it every day, and it made difference.
Yeah,
So
revising
it helped
every
me a
day.
lot.
That's a good
Yeah.
strategy. Everyone revising every day. If that's your weakness, revise it every day. Give it more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Only then you can change it, because scoring high in that section is extremely important. How much did you score in that section, Gina?
708.
708. That's a very good score. And what's your final score?
651.
651. Okay, that's really good. So I think cardiopulmonary performance did make a difference in your final score.
Yeah,
If
and
you would
other
have,
system as well.
how much in other systems?
676.
That's good. That's good. So that did make a difference. That's great to hear. How about you, Sweta? Like,
Yeah.
how much? What section you scored highest, and what was your strategy in that section?
Yeah, same like Jinal. Cardio was the highest, 708.
Wow.
Then,
And what was your strategy in cardiopulmonary? Like,
when I
she was
started,
revising every day.
it was all new. I felt like, oh, this topic, I have never heard about this topic during my bachelor's. It was like that.
I know.
Exactly.
Worked in neuro. So I left cardio. Like in my practice, it was like I left cardio after my bachelor's. So starting it all over again was difficult initially. But yeah, like how Jinal said, there were some topics you were emphasizing during your lectures. So, and the concepts in the cardio. So first I was like, why is this FRV more? Why is this TLC less? And it was difficult. Then the conceptual learning has improved. That made me understand now, be it obstructive, be it restrictive, be it any condition. So if, according to the symptoms, now I can manage.
You can manage.
I can tell, yeah, no, this is it. This should be this. This should be this. Yeah, and also some of the peculiar features in cardio, I made notes out of it, and there I made a document like daily revised topics.
Okay.
That helped.
That's a great strategy.
During while also solving questions, so whatever the weak topics were there, I used to write down. I heard this from your strategy classes. Keep neuro, keep cardio, keep like that. So every weekend I used to come back to neuro, all my weak topics.
Okay.
So daily revised topics. So I did that strategy.
Yeah, and you know what, like many people who are listening, they think that, yeah, you guys just worked hard, you passed. It's not hard work, it's like smart work. You have to use strategies, like going to your weak topics. That's a strategy. I mean, nobody wants to study same topic or revise, because they want to keep studying new things. But guys, make sure you're revising. If your weakness is in cardio, weak topics, go through that. And I can still tell you, if you perform very good in cardiopulmonary and other system, you'll be successful in your PCE exam. So that was great, Shweta. So, Sangeeta, how about you? Was it same like them? What was which section did you score highest?
I scored highest in other system. I was really scared about it, but I don't know how I scored highest in that. I scored 696.
676.
696.
696. Yes. So that performance makes a difference. I mean, if you're scoring close to 700 or above 700, it definitely raises your overall score, because at the end, other system it has also 800 points. Or
Yeah.
multi-system has 800 points. So if you're scoring 700 in that, definitely you're going to pass. So that was a great strategy. And we have some students who are asking, how much do you guys score? Like, how will you rate the difficulty level of your PCE in May versus one of our exam? Which exam was closest to PCE?
I would say exam 3 and 4.
Exam 3 and 4. So it is getting difficult.
Yeah.
How about you, Shweta?
Yeah,
Same. 3 and 4.
Exam 3 and 4. That's interesting. That's good to know. So it is getting difficult. Back in the day, people used to say that between 1 and 2, long back. But then they said that now it's between 2 and 3. Because exam 1 is the easiest, then exam 2, then exam 3, and then exam 4. The difficulty level goes up. And how much did you guys score in those exams?
So for exam 3, I guess I scored 127.
127. So that's
still
a fine score.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then exam 4, it was 133.
Okay. And that was a month before your actual PCE. So
yeah.
You still have enough time. You worked very hard.
Yeah.
How about you, Shweta? How much did you score in those exams?
I was scoring above 135 to 140. So.
In all the exams?
Yeah.
And what was your final score you said?
It was 603.
603. Yeah. Still, I mean, it doesn't matter. You know what? Honestly, it doesn't matter. Because exam is getting very weird. Yes. It's not just testing you on your like shoulder, elbow, hip, knee, ankle. It's testing you on weird things. So that's good. How about you, Sangeeta?
So my score was very low. It was like 101 in 3 and 110 in 4.
Okay. And what did you do after that? What was the strategy?
Just focus on the basics, because I realized that I talked to a lot of the students who went before, and they said that you should be only focusing on basics. So I started again. Like, you should know, if you're knowing pregnancy, you should know what is symphysis pubis, what is the function, what is the condition associated with it. So I started again, only focused on basics and nothing else. And ethics was the most part in the exams. Like, a lot of questions were like practical based, like not like, okay, this is a thing and then you will answer it. No, they are practical based in a sense. Okay, you are in this situation and you do. So that was the hardest part, because you just had like 1 minute to think and then you have to be very clear. So that's the reason I decided to focus more on ethics.
That's good. That's a great strategy. I mean, even if you score low, but if you work hard after that, you can still make a big difference. Like that last 1 month and focusing on your basics, that's very good. So again, congratulations to all 3 of you. It's a big victory, big achievement. Go and enjoy, and let us know if you need any help from us. If you guys are in Ontario or Alberta, we have our classes. For British Columbia, classes for the clinical exam. For British Columbia, we are offering the online one. In case, your basics are, you guys know everything. You can go and pass the exam. It's like that. But in case if you need any help, let us know. Reach out to us, okay?
Sure.
So congratulations once again.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Let me have new students. So let me have Adrija and Anil, and let me get Madhura again. And you guys can quit this room so we can have more students. Okay. Do you guys have any question? Like students who are listening right now, do you guys have any question that you want me to ask them? Hey, Madhura.
Hi, Ankit sir. Can you hear me now?
That's perfect now.
Thanks.
You made me feel initially that maybe my audio is bad. So I had to go and change some audio settings. So let me see if Hemant is here. Let me see if I can get Hemant. So now who's that? I missed you.
Hi, sir. I'm Adrija.
Adrija, hey Adrija. How are you?
Hi, sir. I'm good, sir.
Good. Okay, let me have. Okay, let me have one more person. Let me see. Himadri can come in. Okay. So, Madhura, once again, congratulations, big victory. What is your strategy? Like, we have not been discussing about musculoskeletal because everyone is like performing fine in that area. But what was your strategy in musculoskeletal system?
Okay. So in PCE May exam for musculoskeletal, they had asked a lot of surgery. Like if you for musculo specifically, if you do a lot of surgeries from Kisser, it would be definitely helpful. And Ankit, so your lectures, like they are amazing.
Okay.
So initially I was just completing the lectures. So main strategy for MSK is complete all the lectures at least thrice. So once you're done with lectures, you almost cover 60 to 80% of the content. And in last 2 months, focus on textbooks like Maggie for special tests and Kistner for surgery.
Okay.
And first chapter of the Maggie is also very important, like basic dermatome, myotome, capsular patterns, and all.
Okay. That was a strategy in muscular. That's great. So Adrija, I know I read your message in the chat box. You said that you just quit your job two weeks before the exam. So tell me
I
about
did
your
not
journey.
even
Like, how many
quit.
months did you prepare for this exam?
So this was my second attempt though. I had applied for the famous July 2022 one.
Okay.
And so yeah, I couldn't clear that one.
Okay.
So I had started in January of that year, tried for a few months, attempted July, could not clear, then I took a setback. I had only started again this January.
Okay.
And I had taken a mentorship, sir.
Who was your
I had
mentor?
taken mentorship. I had taken mentorship with Ankush, sir. And he had everything very sorted. He said, Adrija, just before we start our classes, just finish the basics.
Okay.
And I did that.
Okay.
I kept on going through your slides. I kept on going through the recorded videos. And once the classes for mentorship started, he gave a very good guidance about where all to read what from which book. Mainly it was Kistner and
Goodman.
yeah, it was Kistner, the Goodman and Kistner.
Okay.
And so that helped. That helped a lot.
What should a student do? Like, you have an experience of first time and second time. How can anyone, or what mistakes to avoid the very first time?
So I would say, do not look into big things. Make sure your basics are strong. Make sure the classes, the recorded videos, each and every slides you should be going through, because they can ask questions from each and any of the slides.
Okay.
Any of the slides, and all the slides are very important.
No, but students say that there's too much. too many slides.
Nowadays you need to go through too much, because so in neuro we were thinking that they don't ask question much from stroke or anything, but this time it was
back in
stroke,
the day,
left, right, center.
Yeah, back in the day they did not ask many questions from stroke, but now I think they are changing, because they think that's the way to control students. So that's good strategy. First time, like, finish all the slides. Anything else if you you have to start the process again, anything else you will do different this time, first time, if you have to?
So one thing I did at the end of the preparation time was I made a separate document which had all the things that confuses, like things that
not easy
are
to
very close to each other. And you have to remember them. It's not concepts, but you have to remember them. So I made a whole document out of it, and I was going through it as frequently as possible so that they stay.
The list of difficult topics. Now that's Shikha, right? Shikha?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Shikha. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
So big victory.
Thank you so much.
So I'll come to you, Shikha. Shikha, how many months did you prepare for this exam, and share some strategies in these many months? Like, what did you do different?
Actually, I was preparing this. I started StudyBuddy. I joined StudyBuddy in 2021 May. But then I was not that focused. And I thought everyone, I didn't, because once I started the lecture, watching the lectures, I thought that this is not going to be so easy. And actually I have a gap of 5 years. So back from physiotherapy. And then I was also applying for my PR for Canada. So in between everything was mixed up, and I had a family event. So then again it got broken. I was planning for December. By December I was planning that I would get my eligibility letter and then apply for May 2022. But then in that May 2022 I had my PR and I had to move to Canada from India. So everything. And then I again started, I worked for a PT assistant here for 2 months, but then I thought it's of no use. And so and I have a kid also, and everything was new for me. So I thought that, and the main thing was I could do it without any job, was because my husband was supporting me.
Yeah. Yes.
He had a job here,
Now, this
so
was your
I
first
could be
attempt.
reassured. Yes, it was my first attempt.
So,
I had,
one quick
I
one.
was,
Yeah, one quick question. Like, because you started almost 2 years back, okay,
yeah,
and you made it in your first attempt. I mean, you had the potential, but what should anybody who's listening right now and who are doing the same mistakes, like doing a job or this and that, what should they avoid, like, to get it done early and not like spend this much time? What are some of the
yes.
mistakes?
I realized like if I would have been focused from the very beginning, then I would have definitely cleared this in 6 months.
Okay.
But like, and then it was like fate and everything, something comes up in the middle or something. But I was not focused from the very beginning. If I had been focused from the very beginning, because I completed one full lecture session,
Course, yeah.
all the lectures I did once, but then I was not focused. I just saw them and didn't realize them. But when the second time I was focused and I started doing your lectures again in the last 6 months, from the first lecture only I could, like, after that one series of lectures I could make short notes and everything, like everything in the computer notes only.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I could make it a concise that yes, the shoulder PPT is 200, but then I made it, I cut it everything
Yeah.
that I didn't want repeated, and I made it a short
Yes.
PPT
No, that's
so
a
that
really
I
good
could go back
strategy.
to it.
I tell everyone, like, you guys can download the PPT and start deleting things. Like, first time when you read, you don't know a lot of things. Once you are
Yes,
like, okay, I know what is this. I know what is shoulder,
yes,
what is protraction, retraction. So start deleting those PPTs from your preparation notes. So that way you
yes,
can finish things in a fast time. Because now if you go back, it will hardly take half an hour to finish all those 200 slides because it's
yeah,
mostly images. So
yes, yes.
that's good. So anybody who's listening, guys, you have to change the attitude. Otherwise, the
Mm.
exam can take a lot of time. Again, PR is important. You have to work for that, and other things are important. But again, your mindset is very important from day one. For you to get it done, you have to take initiatives. It's not going to happen by itself. It's a tough exam, and don't think that you'll just you'll read in last 1 month and you'll get it done. It's not happening. Okay.
No, it's
So,
not
Madhura,
happening.
I'll come to you. Madhura, some strategies for you did share strategy for muscular. Now, what section did you score highest?
Cardiopulmonary. I got
Cardiopulmonary.
685 in
685.
cardiopulmonary.
And was it easy, cardiopulmonary exam?
Compared to other subjects, it was
It,
easy because back in day during my bachelor's, I was very afraid of cardio
mm-hmm.
and I was not good in that. But once I started attending your lectures, I gained some interest. Like they are amazing, Ankit sir, the way you start with basic and
Mm-hmm.
you differentiate between conditions.
Okay.
And
That's
yeah, and then yeah, in last 2 months, then I referred textbooks like Hillgas is very good because it has very good tables.
okay.
So you can do it from Hillgas.
Mm-hmm.
And even I referred cardiopulmonary from Susan Sullivan, chapter number 13 and 14. So
Yeah.
it is very good for surgeries
Okay.
and retention for cases. So I had done cardiopulmonary a lot, like because
Quite
I was
well.
very scared. Yeah, because I was very scared whether I'll able to make it or not in PC, and I ended up getting more in
In
cardiology.
cardiopulmonary, you studied Hillgas, like
Yeah.
superficially, right? Not in too much depth.
No, they have tables. So I just went through
Tables.
tables. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And that makes a
retention is
difference. That makes a difference. Even if you go and just study like something in a different way, it will change your mindset, the way you think about that topic. And then you check read and chunk case studies also.
right, which are given at the end. Plus,
Uh-huh.
in Susan, they have given chapter number 13 and 14.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is also very good.
That's great.
So for
That's a great strategy. So for cardiopulmonary, how about other system? How did you prepare that section?
for other systems, first I completed Pooja ma'am's lectures,
Uh-huh.
and then I referred books like for Kistner for osteoporosis, pregnancy, RA. I did it from Susan.
Mm-hmm.
So and like instead of reading more for PC, focus more on solving questions.
Yes.
Because if you, I used to solve 50 questions every day, 2 months before the exam,
Mm-hmm.
and that really helped me in PC. Because
Now,
when you solve questions,
which questions were they?
I started from Saunders and I completed all the exams which were given on StudyBuddy's portal. And for cardio, they are very good. And Kiran ma'am also, I took mentorship from Kiran ma'am. So she also used to give us extra questions during the lectures.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, you know what? One of the students is asking, what's the difference between studying by yourself versus having a mentor? How is mentor beneficial? What I've seen is, like, Kiran is pretty amazing. I mean, she has given great results from a long time. So she's one of the most successful mentor, I would say, in PCE. How is that helpful? How is her mentorship helpful? to you?
Okay.
How did it
Yeah,
work for you?
yeah. So mentorship is definitely helpful because ma'am used to highlight us important topics during the lecture. When you're studying on your own, since it was first time for me, you never know whether you're actually studying what is going to be asked in exam. And she used to give us the name of the textbooks also from which you have to refer a certain condition. And after every topic, she used to give us certain questions, even during the lectures and for home assignment.
Okay.
So that helps a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So yeah, guys, I've seen that if you take mentorship, it does improve your performance by 10 to 15%. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Now, Shikha, did you take any mentorship?
Yes, sir. I also took from Kiran
Kiran?
ma'am.
And then Adrija, for
Yeah.
you, it was Ankush.
Ankush, sir.
So
Yes.
Adrija, how was his mentorship? Like, first time you went for the exam without any mentorship,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, I did.
second time you went for the exam with mentorship. Like,
Yeah.
how is Ankush helpful? Like, what was
So
that amazing thing in his mentorship? The most amazing thing in his mentorship.
So the most amazing thing is, since I was working, my time of study was very less, but there used to be time, when I was not doing the mentorship, there used to be days when I did not study.
Okay.
But he's a pretty strict mentor, and he makes sure that you study and come to the next class. So that kept me consistent in doing his classes. And moreover, sir, the way he has planned the classes, it's like the initial stages would be the basics. Then he will work on the topics that has to be read from the books. He will literally explain things that are confusing. And it is a very active class, sir. He asks question and he then explains it. And then at the end, the Q&A sessions, sir, they were like every day we used to brainstorm for a good 1.5 hours. So I feel
every
that
day,
helped
like
me a
close to
lot.
your exam?
Yeah, last 2 weeks
With
of
all the
our
students,
exam.
or was it just with you? Like, how was it? With the
No, sir. It was
all
all
the
the
students?
mentorship students.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. So how about you, Shikha? How was Kiran helpful?
Like Madhura told, same. Her classes were very good, like the Q&A sessions. And earlier also she would explain us like you have to do cardio from which cardio topics from which books, which topics you need to focus, and every condition she used to explain everything from the beginning, like what you need to study about one condition in brief. About the surgeries also, like indications, contraindications, and entire thing about one condition she used to tell us. Do this from this, do this from this, and then she will the question Q&A questions, that also. And then she also in the last days she also gave us questions to solve, so that really helped. Yes, clear the concepts, many basic concepts.
That's great. That's
Yes.
great. Those are some amazing tips, guys. Thank you again for sharing all of that. And again, big congratulations to all three of you. It's a big victory, big achievement. And I mean, you're starting your journey in Canada as a successful therapist. Let us know if you guys need any help from us. And then stay in touch with us. If you guys ever come to America, just visit. I live near New York. It's not very far from New York, but let me know. Feel free to stop by, or you can just give me a surprise visit. Okay. So, but stay in touch.
Sure,
Good luck.
Yes.
And then
Sure.
hopefully
Thank
we'll meet one day.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, have a great evening. Bye bye. Let me have here, and you guys can quit so I can have other students. Let me get here, and then Anil, for some reason I think it's not. You're not able to make it. Himadri, is that here?
Yes, sir.
Hi, here. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Let me see. Whom do I have? Tanraj.
So you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Himadri or Anil, I think for some reason I'm not able to add you guys. Is that Tanvi? Hey Tanvi, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
Good. Let me see if we have anybody else. Anil or Himadri, I'm not, for some reason, it's not letting me add you, or maybe you guys are not able to get in for some reason. Try to log out and maybe log in again, Anil and Himadri. But again, we'll start with Heer and Tanvi. How are you guys? Great.
Yes, all good.
So Heer, this was your first attempt, right?
Yes, it was my first attempt.
Okay, so big victory. So here, when did you graduate from PT school?
I graduated in 2018.
2018, and you just
Yes.
came to Canada like in last 2-3 years back. 3 years
Yes,
back.
in 2020.
2020,
Yeah.
and now you are like
Yeah.
licensed physical therapist.
Yeah, in 2.5 years. Yeah.
That is a big achievement. So
Thank
here,
you. Yeah.
short journey, right? How many months it took for you?
So, sir, I would say I started in mid of October, and then I studied for a month, and then I have to go to India because I was here for a very long period of time, and I felt very homesick. I was staying alone with my friends, and it's a very critical time studying for PCE, and it requires lots of moral support, lots of detoxification, de-stressing. So I decided to go to India. I went there for 2.5 months. I had my cousin's wedding. I went on a vacation, and then I started studying again in January. And in between, I also attended my cousin's wedding. And then when I came back, so anyways, when you come back from India, you are very bankrupt.
Yeah.
And I had done a lot of studying in India, but then it was not in like enough. Like I was planning for March, but did not get a date. So I got a date for May. So my finances were a little bit disrupted. So I rejoined my job, and I was working full time. I was studying full time, and then I just took a break of 2 weeks before exam,
Okay.
and then cleared my exam. So
Now, will you recommend this to everyone? Like, just take a break 2 weeks before your exam, and is that achievable?
not at all, not at all. It was a very stressful journey, but I think stress made me more stronger. It helped me to push myself harder.
Yeah.
And during my journey, I actually adapted a lot of stress relieving techniques like breathing exercises, or just, whenever I used to study for like 1 hour, 2 hour, I used to just take a 5 minute, 10 minute break, close my eyes, go in the balcony, take some fresh air, come back and start studying again. Since I took only 2 weeks break, there was no attempt to sleep, to eat, and to give enough time to all of it. I had to study 10 hours, 12 hours a day, so that I'm able to cover up whatever, what people do it by taking a long break. So I don't recommend that. Please don't do it. If you guys can quit it, please quit it. Because of my responsibilities, I was not able to do so, but it helped me in pushing myself more, exploring myself more, getting stronger.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, and some of the strategies that I liked is like stress relieving techniques that you were applying, and those small things. You know what? I honestly feel it does make a difference in your preparation. Those small things like going for a short walk, and seeing the outside world, because we are studying like from morning, the moment we open our eyes, till our eyes shut down by
I
itself.
used to just
We
see
are
books
studying.
throughout. Like in my sleep also, I used to see books.
Yeah.
But I used to have good sleep. I mean, 7 hours of sleep daily, eat healthy food. Luckily, I have good friend support where I was staying. So I had no issues in eating.
That's
I
good.
was just sitting and studying and sleeping, taking good sleep, and just doing my job.
That's good.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
I'll come to you, Tanvi. Tanvi, so it's again because you meant, what do you want to share? Like, how many months of preparation is enough to pass this exam?
I will say at least you need 6 months of preparation.
6 months of preparation.
Because, like for me, it was so hustle because I joined studying in November, the November batch last year. I started studying. It was on and off for me. I want to go for March, but it didn't work for me. Then I booked for May, and 3 weeks off before the exam, same as you. And it was so stressful. I was studying 16 hours a day.
16 hours.
16 hours.
Oh my God.
Now, so you know what, I get many times students who are like, who want to start in February and they want to take the exam in March. Who want to start in March and they want to take the exam, because I mean, back in the day in college, that's what we did, like study for a month, and we were like among the top 10 students. But that's not going to work here. So anybody who is thinking of PCE, it's a tough exam. And you know what, I mean, when they attend the first class of muscular, their confidence is automatically, they start realizing it's a different world. It's not the same thing. Once they start seeing the biomechanics and those kind of things. So guys, it does take time. Okay. And if you look for a shortcut, it's not happening. I mean, you will miss by some points. Definitely people are able to make it. It's not that they're not able to make it in 2-3 months. 3 months some are, but you have to be an extraordinary. Like you have to be like a nuclear scientist, like Abdul Kalam, to get it done. Otherwise, it's not happening. Okay. So Himang, congratulations. Himang, how do you feel? Like this feeling? I never asked to anybody else, but how do you feel?
So I have no words. Basically, the day I received my result, I just opened it. It was like I I was like no words. I didn't even like have words to explain that feeling.
Yeah.
I did call my mentor right away that to just share my feeling, and I was like clueless. Like, ma'am, thanks a lot, and that's it.
Kiran
Thanks
was
a
your
lot.
mentor,
That's it.
right?
Sorry.
Kiran was your mentor.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, that's really good. I mean, Kiran has been amazing for many students. Like, I think if you go to in Toronto, if you walk in that area, you'll definitely find some students who took mentorship from Kiran. So she has been that successful for many years. So Himang, how many months did it take for you to prepare for this exam?
So basically, I was on and off from the start. I started preparing from 2022 and like November nearby. But because of my education going on side by side, because I'm an international student, so I just completed my postgraduate diploma just in April. So for that, I was totally serious about PC and from the start of first week of January. So I just prepared. I just focus only on that thing. So from January first week till then, I was totally into that. But I was not able to like quit my job because of some problems and all. So because we have to manage on finances and all. So I just quit my job 2 weeks just before the exam.
2 weeks. All three of you 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Tanvi, you too. Wow. So guys, you don't have to listen to them. You have to quit 2 weeks. That was their situation. Okay. It can still be done, but again, if you go and check their background, they must be very smart students. So their basics from college must be good. Now Himang, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
So basically I'm 23.
23.
So,
That's and now like so guys, he's 23 and within few months like he'll be making $80,000 to $90,000 a year. So that should be your dream. Anyone like 23, like I was 25 when I came to America. And I think it was late. So being successful at that age, making tough decisions, like coming to Canada, like and deciding that PC is important, working hard, it can be achieved at a very young age. And I believe all three of you are pretty much in the same age group. So Himang, did you graduate recently from India?
Yes, I graduated back in 2022, and I was like preparing for like coming here right away, and I took I think almost 6 months to just came here, and I entered in Canada in 2022 December 24th.
Okay.
So
wow. So like from the very first, like you came in 2022 December.
No,
and you joined
2021. Sorry, 2021 December, and then started my journey from Jan 2022.
And after 1 year, you joined our classes.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So Hemant, what section did you score the highest?
So basically, I have two. One is ethics and one is musculoskeletal.
How much did you score in ethics?
So, it was like domain wise. So
Yeah.
I just scored in communication 800, and the rest is like 650, 690, 555, and one is like 444. So I think I did focus more on ethics.
Section where you scored 444?
So I think it's leadership kind of. I'm not sure about it. It's leadership, I think.
But overall, I think the average went up, which is pretty amazing score. So what should be your strategy for anybody who's listening, going for exam in July? What should they do for ethics?
So basically, in the start, I was really confused about what I'm going to do in ethics, because I have heard a lot of people like talking about about ethics that do focus on online, go to websites, read about things. I personally think it is just a waste of time in the start. What I did is just understand the situations. Like firstly, I did focus on Caitlin booklet, which was all about the situations. They have mentioned properly, and I did understand all the concepts, where to focus and what perspective you need to answer the questions. And after that, I did watch your videos, and I go through all the PPTs, prepare my own personal notes on and just separate the categories along with that, and add things into that. And so the main thing is like visualization. You need a strong more visualization in that situation. Like, what will you do this if this happens? What will you do this? So I was kept on like thinking more focus on these situations. I do focus more on these situations basically.
That's helpful. That's helpful. How about you, Heer? Strategy, like what section was the where you scored highest?
So in all the sections, I got above 600, and the highest are MSK and cardiopulmonary. Like I got.
How much did you score in MSK?
684.
That's a very good score, because I've been hearing a lot of like students are missing by a few points, or even those who passed, they scored kind of like 590 or 610. So what was special about your preparation for MSK?
So for my preparation, I actually focused a lot on application. First, understanding the basic fully, like all the muscle, nerve, everything, understanding the basic, and more of applying it. Like in our exam, like for example, it's a surgery, right? So in our exam, lots of questions were asked regarding the surgery and the management of the surgery. So when I was studying, when I was studying surgery from Kisner, I used to read everything, and I used to keep in mind, like, if I have a patient with me, I used to imagine that what all things I will be focusing on, what all things I will be working in the first phase, what will be the criteria of progress, so that I'll go in the second phase. So I did not focus a lot on the periods, because obviously it varies. I just had a general period in my mind. Okay, this is what it is, which you used to say in the classes, and I used to make manage like more of imagination. Okay, if this is a patient, it comes to me, application, and not just mugging up things, just understanding, applying, thinking about the impairments, and just giving pinpoint management accordingly. So that really helped me in the exam too.
Now, here, did you take any mentorship?
Yes, I was with the mentor, Kiran ma'am. Yes.
Kiran was your mentor?
Yes.
Okay. And how about you, Tanvi? Did you take any mentorship?
No, sir. I studied my best.
By yourself. That's great. So, I mean, we get students asking question that can a student pass without mentorship? So what do you guys think? Like, Tanvi, you made it without mentorship. What was your strategy like? Because many of the classmates, you must have seen that they are taking mentorship. How were you following your plan, your schedule? What was your strategy?
So from beginning, like just focusing on the basics and the live lectures, revising them twice, I think. And I made the notes of every single subject, every single topic and everything. I was highlighting the main differential things. And at the end, I was just making the table and then the main points in the each topic, each whatever condition each has, and the treatment. So I was for the gate, and I was just like doing the practical things, like whatever you say in the lecture, just to just walk by yourselves, just stand up and do this and that things. So it was just about the practical more.
Okay. That's great to hear. So again, congratulations to all three of you. It's a big achievement. It's not an easy exam, tough exam, and your journey starts now. I mean, you'll be going for clinical exam, and these basics, like what you have learned, is going to stay with you forever. Like, you will feel confident. And anytime you treat any patient, you know the regulations. First of all, you know more than anybody who's working out there. Trust me, the ethics, that what you know, like what to do in what situation, probably they won't know. So you guys can follow those things. And if you guys are in Ontario has like 50% questions. Like the exam is like 50% ethics, even the clinical exam, and 50% part A, muscular and neurocardio. So that will be beneficial again in the clinical part. But again, congratulations, big victory, and good luck for the future. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Let me have other student. Let me see if we have anybody else. Okay, I do have Mona. Any other questions, guys? Any question if I missed from you guys? Hi, Mona.
Hi, sir.
Okay, and I think for some reason Anil and Charul is here. Okay, let me get her in. Anil and Himadri, I'm trying to invite you guys, but for some reason it's not. Maybe you guys are not able to join in. Hey, Charul. Hi, Charul.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then I'm sorry, I missed your name again. Charul, and who's that? Mona. Hey, Mona. So, Mona, congratulations, big victory, big achievement. It was a tough exam. It wasn't an easy exam.
That's true.
Let me see if there are some questions from students. So can you discuss about preparation for people going for September attempt? Yes, Nitiksha will definitely get that. Let's see if we have anything else. Have you gone through website case of the month? Okay, I will ask those questions too. Case of the month. And if you guys are listening who passed the exam, you guys can answer in the chat. In the chat. Okay, all right. So let me start with you, Mona. Mona, again, we are towards the end of this live. Share something about neuro, because so far we haven't asked anyone about how to score good in neuro, because this time they had a lot of neuro questions. What should someone do for neuro?
Neuro, I just followed Mayank sir's lectures and slide. For me, pedia wasn't like, I didn't like the pedia, so I didn't study much, but I had a mentorship with Kiran ma'am. So whatever she suggested, I just like, go through it. I didn't study much pedia, but I would say studied pedia. These ask like, I think 2 winged style questions, or at least like
Pedia.
6 or 7. Yeah, 6 or 7 questions. That was tough for me.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think maybe
don't
that's the
miss
reason.
that.
Maybe that's the reason people didn't score well in that section. Whosoever missed it because of pedia. Because I saw that students scoring quite high in muscular, cardio, and other system, but somehow for some reason they scored like 520 or 510 in neuro, and then they ended up missing the passing range. So, guys, pedia is important. Don't ignore that. And as you said, like too many questions from that. So, hey Charu, again, congratulations to you too.
Thank you.
It's the start of a journey for Canada. So, Charu, what do you want to share about neuro? What should be student strategy for neuro?
So basically, it was like my worst nightmare coming true. I was the weakest in neuro, but like for the students thinking like whether they should take mentorship or not, I'm the best candidate to tell that, because I took mentorship in the last 1 month, and it was a game changer. I don't know how Hitesh managed, but he prepped me for neuro exactly like what they asked. Like, I don't know how he knew it. Outcome measures, kids, and he used to literally like quiz me, and like I struggled with outcome measures because it was just memorizing, and I struggled with non-concept based problems. So outcome measures and all, he really prepped me for it, and that was a game changer. And rest all Mayank sir's lectures are more than enough, because like sometimes you feel, why is he going so much in deep? But then in this paper, we understood that you actually had to know which organ is supplied by which artery, and that was a game changer, because the questions were not direct. Like, we hardly had like maybe 5-6 questions direct, but everything else was very tricky,
For
very tricky.
neuro or for the whole exam?
For neuro.
Yeah.
It was very tricky.
Yeah,
And
that's
for neuro,
Mona.
I would suggest that like don't go in that much depth. Whatever the Mayank sir is like teaching, that's enough, because he's going in depth, more than depth. So that is like, he's really clearing the concept. So if you're gonna watch his lecture like 2 or 3 times, then the main concept, like without the pedia, everything is gonna be clear. So you don't have to read the book.
Okay.
Even for the management.
I mean, he can get it done in like 20 lectures. You can finish your neuro, which is great. How much did you guys score in muscular for you, Mona? How much did you score in muscular?
590.
590. And how about you, Charu, in muscular?
670.
670.
I was very bad in muscular.
670. Okay, that's a good score. Charu, what's your final score in PC?
673.
That's a good score. How about you, Mona?
606.
606. I think. What section did you score highest, Mona?
Other system.
Other systems. And how about cardiopulmonary?
It was second highest.
Second highest in cardiopulmonary and other systems. So guys, if you guys perform good in those 2 sections, like cardiopulmonary and other systems, and even if you miss by a few points in neuro, because passing is like close to 600, even if you miss by a few points in muscular, you can still make it. So those 2 sections are extremely important to score high for you to succeed. So now coming to you, Mona, tell us something about, like, you scored high in, you said, other systems?
Other system and ethics. Ethics also high. Like,
what was the strategy?
ethics,
what should be the strategy for ethics? What should a student do?
Ethics, I didn't follow the website, nothing, just your lectures. I watched it like 3 times, that's it.
And lectures?
That's it. And even I didn't touch the PPTs, PowerPoint, nothing, just lectures. So whenever I
Three
was
times?
solving the, yeah, 3 times.
Okay. Okay.
5 of them, 5 lectures, that's it.
Five
Whenever I
lectures.
was solving the question, like in the exam,
Mhm.
when whatever you speak regarding the scenario, I was just like, that was going in my mind whenever I was solving the question.
Okay.
So it helped me a lot.
Okay. Okay. That's a great strategy. So first, like 3 times, it can take time. So like, were you watching on a fast forward mode? Like
Yeah, 2 times
speed?
faster.
That's 2 times. Definitely, you have to be good. So how about you, Charu? How was your performance in other system and ethics?
Other systems I scored the highest. I got 710.
710.
And yeah, I did Pooja ma'am's notes, and then whatever Hitesh asked me to read from the books, because I didn't I knew this was my one chance, so I didn't want to not cover all the bases. So I read the books just for other systems.
Okay.
Because you kept on insisting other systems. So that was like my strategy to just focus
I
on
think
other
it
systems.
did work for for many students.
It worked.
Scoring
Amazing.
high in other system and cardiopulmonary, that strategy worked towards the final score. That's great to hear. So how about ethics, Charu? What should a student do for ethics?
So ethics, I basically did your lectures, main, and then I saw the lectures twice, and then I did the PPTs. And then Hitesh also told me one important thing, like while solving questions, you first see if a law is broken, and second, you see it all boils down to those basic 5 principles of maleficence, beneficence, and all that. And everything is like centered to that.
Okay.
So basically, that's how I solved my ethics questions, and I scored 600 and above in all ethics.
In all the sections of ethics. That's great. That is great to hear. I mean, those are some amazing strategies and amazing tips. One last unique thing, Mona, like in this journey, because it's not easy studying so many things: muscular, neuro, cardio, multi-system, ethics. And ethics is something that we don't study back home. It's a completely new thing, like when to refer to the doctor, this and that. Like, how should a student stay motivated? It's too much.
For me, I started in November, start of October something. I left the job in November, December, and I was going to March. But I feel like in that 2 months, I wasn't attached to any person. So I was very depressed, and I postponed my exam to May, and I started job again in January. So I would suggest do not quit the job full time. Just do a part time. So that way you will you're financially also you're going to be a little bit stable, and you will be in touch with a person physically. So that will help me. I wasn't able to do full time study. So for me,
and that's a good strategy, because again, many people are they have to go out of the house, because house is it can be stressful. So definitely we all need some outer energy to stay positive. So that's a good strategy, like doing part-time.
At least 2 days a week or something. So
definitely we need that mental refreshment. So that's a good strategy. How about you, Charu? How should a student complete this journey? What should they do different to get it done?
I feel like, the main thing is that everyone should realize that time is a luxury you don't have during the preparation and during the exam. So don't think that, the exam is 4 months back. They don't realize that 2 months before the exam, you're so busy solving mocks and revising the rationale, you don't get to study. So that was the mistake that I made. So, and another thing, what I did was to save time. Whenever I was revising the rationales, I started copy pasting the rationales, which I struggled with on a Word document, so that it was quicker for me to revise just before the exam. The 1 week before the exam, it was quicker for me to revise. And another thing I would suggest is don't drag it long for a long time. Don't take 1 to 2 years, because then you get saturated. And then when I gave the exam, I didn't even want to look at the books or at the PPT. I was just so done with it.
When did you join the classes?
November.
Okay.
But I did full time
studies.
studying. I don't even know there is a metro in Mumbai. So I didn't even step out of the house. That's what works for me.
I mean, definitely, because even I'm a person who cannot do multiple things at the same time. I do need some break, and especially when you're doing practice exams, it takes 4.5 hours to finish the practice exam.
Yep.
And then reviewing the rational takes 2 days to complete all the rationals and
Yes.
questions and like making notes. And then, but definitely, as Mona said, if you have some break, can be a mental refreshment for you, which can help you study efficiently for the rest of the days. So that's a great strategy. So again, good luck to both of you. And are you guys both in India or Canada?
I'm in Canada.
I'm in India.
You're in India. So guys, you can do it from India. Like Charul is an example for you. You can do it from anywhere in the world. Like you can do it from anywhere in the world. You can do the evaluation, and you can book the exam. You can take the exam. Now, how was the online experience? You took the exam virtually, right, Charul? And how about you, Mona? Was it virtual?
In person. I went to in person.
So what was the problem, Charul, in virtual exam?
The problem was from their end. It like I entered the examination room at 6 p.m. Until 8 p.m. I didn't get a proctor, and then I attempted half the exam, and then again it came reconnecting, and then I was sitting for 2 hours more, thinking that it will reconnect, but I didn't realize that my screen was frozen. So I was just sitting for 2 hours, and then nothing. Then I had to like risk it and just stand up and move out of the screen, thinking that maybe someone will say something, but then afterwards I realized that it had shut off 2 hours back.
Okay.
So for my exam was from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. And it was just back and forth, and I was in total state of panic at that point.
Okay. So I think there are some students who want to contact you guys. You guys can read the chat later on. And I think please do help as many students as you can, because it's, as you know, the journey is not easy for anyone, and it's stressful. And because you guys manage it so successfully, you can be a great resource for students who are preparing for this exam. So please be very helpful to them. And you guys can reach out to us for any questions, any concerns, if you need any help from us. But again, you should be extremely proud of yourself. It's a big achievement. One of the toughest exams in your life. Okay. So good luck to both of you. Stay in touch and let us know if you have any questions. Okay. Let me see if the student has any questions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. If you guys want to go, you can quit. Can you please provide details? Can you please provide your details? Devanshi, are you asking the students, or are you asking me? So Anil and Himadri, for some reason, it's not like, I think maybe the Instagram is not letting you guys in. I tried to add you guys, but for some reason, it's not working out. But so guys, if you are preparing for the exam, I'll quickly go over some strategies. Other system is important. It's not very deep, superficial, and go through the blueprint of topics that is mentioned on the website, and make sure you finish all the topics. Some students mentioned that you can do it from the books, like Goodman Pathological Implication, but superficial reading, like one of the students did it from Physiopedia, which is enough. Okay, just know the basics. Coming to cardiopulmonary, if that's your weak area, you have to follow strategy, lectures, regular revision. Okay, it's not easy to just read it once and done. No, revision is extremely important. And they read it from Hilges, Sullivan, chapter 13-14, and some students did it from I forgot, I think she said Read and Chunk. That was another book. Third thing was for neuro. Mike is amazing. He gets finished everything, but then you have to practice. You have to know the basics. You have to know everything to get the answers correct. Now they are going in depth of neuro. All right. Fourth, musculo. Just lectures. Make your own notes, because for muscular you need to build up your understanding. Okay. Lectures, notes. We have our notes. In our notes you can add things. That will be very helpful. And then regular revision in muscular also, because muscular is huge. Lastly, ethics. If you heard, like every student had like different opinion. Some students just did our classes, and definitely repetition of classes will make a difference, even though you know the answer that option C is correct. But when you repeat it, you will understand other things that we're discussing in the class. Those things can be very beneficial too. So lectures and the notes are quite good in that. So go through the notes, lectures, that will be sufficient. Okay. Dheeraj, our course will definitely help you for DHA also. I mean, our course is quite intense for DHA. You won't have any problem. We had many students who passed the exam without any difficulty. So I think I'll call off. It was a great session. Thank you again. Now regarding how to get mentorship, again, the requirement for you to get a mentor, you have to be part of our class. If you're part of our class, you can write an email to pcestudybuddy@gmail.com, and they'll give you the details, the cell phone numbers of the mentors. That way you can reach out to the mentor, schedule a call, discuss with them, and then they can give you the details for mentorship. But as I said, it's only for students of StudyBuddy. All right, so you guys have a great night. Thank you again for attending everything. As you know, it can be done. You heard what you need to do. Okay. Good luck, and you can reach out to us for any questions. Our email is pcestudybuddy@gmail.com. Okay, this is Ankit. You can reach out to me also on Instagram, or the email is the best option. pcestudybuddy@gmail.com. Thank you again.